Okay, let's just start taking cards and seeing how I feel about them. Um, let's see. Maybe I'll just focus on the rares. No, there's not that many cards. We can go through it. Bullseye. Kill a unit or relic with cost 2 or less. Seems pretty solid. One of the things I noticed, I'll probably keep complaining about this as we go, they seem to have added a lot of cards that are like good at what they do normally, and they also kill relics. I don't know what happened that they just decided that there was going to be like a million relics and you know, like a million relicate cards this set. Like maybe they just didn't think there was enough, but definitely a lot of variety on relicate, and it's like being slapped on cards that potentially don't. Oh, this is cool. That potentially don't really need to have relicate slapped on them. So the cursed unit is reckless. When the cursed unit dies, create and draw a power burst and a treasure trove. This is a really weird. I don't really think curses usually are fire. Like usually the curse decks aren't playing with fire. But I guess that's fine. I don't think that card will see much play, but it does technically replace itself, so that's cool. Blah blah blah. Make Grenadine deal damage. I guess this is good with like Align to Tesseract. Nothing else is all that exciting. Well, actually, hang on. Deal 1 damage, inscribed. I like brushed right over this card, but this is actually like really good. Like, you can ping like an important card like a Kira or a Hojan with it, or get a land. So I'm into that. Popping Aegis with it. Yeah, here's another one. Kill an attachment on an enemy or create and draw a Warhelm. It's like these cards are good on their own, like they would already probably see play, and then they're just slapping attachment hate onto them. And killing an attachment is so much better than just, you know, targeted relic destruction, right? Like this won't kill curses, but this is going to hit literally everything else. So this 2-drop that you'd probably already be playing anyway, just like in this kind of deck, is now able to just like randomly pop a 9-power relic that you've put on your face. Like I just don't like when you make them this playable. You make big relics bad, and like that's just a real big feels bad. Like if you want to make big relics bad, I feel like there should be more. Like you should at least have to go to your market or something, or go out of your way to do it. But when you just slap it on a card that's like already good as it is, it's just basically announcing to the world that you're like, I want relics to be bad. But that's fine, I guess. Deal 4 on Searing Fist. It's basically just a Jack burn, so that's cool. I'm sure that'll see play. It's a very good tempo card. I have to like take a double look at each of these inscribed spells because they're better than they seem, and Jeering Yeti actually seems pretty good. It's gonna replace itself. Well, here's the thing, Thalia. It's got a relevant type. It's an Oni. It replaces itself, so I guess there's no market in the format. Maybe they removed all the plunder effects, but like it gives you hand value. Getting charge is nothing to like turn your nose up at. I think it's great. And it has the hidden value of basically being a 4-1 charge if you've got 4 power. Like, I think even if it didn't kill attachments, this card would still see play. At least maybe an expedition. I mean, maybe it's not a throne card, but, you know, expedition is a format. Draw 3 cards, discard them at the end of turn. Draconic looting. That's a very expensive effect for a looter. Usually I would expect loots to be like 1 power. So, not sure how I feel about that. Has inscribed though, so maybe it sees some play. Far from home. Exhaust up to 3 ready units. Deal 1 damage to each enemy player for each enemy unit exhausted this way. Create and draw a treasure trove for each of your units. So for aggro decks, this either refills your hand when you're gassed out and like board stalled, or it will clear the way for you to win. It seems solid. It's definitely something to keep in mind, like 3 damage to the face, tap 3 of your blockers. I saw Raise already. This card's really good. When you play a hero, you may discard a card to draw Raise from your Void. So later on in the game, you can cash in lands for just 4 damage to the face. I like that a lot. I think Bang is hilarious. I kind of undervalued some of these debt cards when I was going through the cards originally. When I was going through originally, I didn't really see these cards as that strong, but I've actually taken a bit of a shine to them recently, just since I played a few games. And I think they're better than I first rated them as. The fact that you get the effect immediately is just a huge, kind of a huge tempo play. Blighted Pasture, deal 5 to the enemy player plus additional damage equal to the health gained this turn. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's okay. They've pushed a lot of the good life gain out of the meta. But we'll see. Well, if any of your units dies, deal 1 damage to the enemy player. This is good. This is the kind of card that we haven't really had, as far as I know. Traditionally in Magic, this would be a black card. So, it's kind of weird to see red getting it, but whatever. Charge, Inscribe. This is pretty bad. This is a draft card. Your other units have +1. Okay, draft card. Inferno Phoenix. What is this? Flying charge, double damage. Oh, dang. This will probably be a staple. 6 damage in the air, and then just passing effects around. Yeah, I can see this being good. It's definitely going to be an expedition card. Whether or not it's fast enough for Throne is another thing entirely, but when we're in the 5 drops, we're really not looking at Throne cards now, are we? Throne cards usually cost 4 or less. Wyatt Trashman. I like the name, at the very least. Inscribe Reckless Revenge. Pay 3 to draw a card at the end of your turn, discard it. I like it. I mean, I think it should probably be a 4-drop, but the fact that it has Revenge is interesting. It's a very reasonable card. It's definitely better than, like, Magma Hound. If, like, we're rating this as a land, like, this is definitely, like, a power creep like Magma Hound, right? Like, we have to, like, rate inscribed cards higher because you can just use them as land, and then, like, later on it keeps you from flooding. There was another inscribed card that I really liked. Let's see if it's in here. Draw a weapon from your void and give it double damage. That's interesting. Exhaust and deal 1 damage to an enemy unit. That's pretty meh. Thunder Titan. Whether it's 20 or more cards in the enemy void, it has charge. When it hits the enemy player, ready your other units, they can attack again this turn. That's at least interesting. I don't know how often a 6/4 is going to get through, but... Oops. Khan Sensari General. When you inscribe Khan, the top unit or weapon of your deck gets +1, and your other units and weapons have +2. Being a 7-drop, I'm not sure how many fire decks are really going to want, like, the big guy. I imagine you're just playing this for the buff in, like, a mono fire deck or something. I don't know that top unit +1 is worth it. I'm kind of on the fence about this. I don't really think there's that many big fire decks that want that. Deal 10 damage to a unit, pay 2 Infernus. Now that's goofy. Yeah, I mean, if you're mono red, maybe you want Khan, but even then, mono red decks want to curve out. You know, giving the top card of your deck +1 isn't as important as going 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, or 1-drop, 1-drop, 1-drop. So I'm kind of suspicious about that, but that's fine. Infernal Chant's goofy. It's just way too overcosted. This is also overcosted. Okay, and we're back to the ones here. Kill an enemy attachment with cost 4 or less or inscribed. Like, this is insane. Like, now here's an inscribe effect that I'd want. Like, it's gonna kill attachments. Like, you're gonna kill a permafrost or something with this. Or, in a pinch, you just get a power. So you just, like, slap 4 of these in your deck if you're playing time. And you can use them as tapped power. Or pop stuff. So I like that. Random crappy 1-drop. Give it +2/+2, or play a 1/1 Spiteling, or kill an enemy relic with an even cost. Yeah, and I was talking about this before. There are so many cards right now in this set that are just like, do this, or do this, or or kill an enemy relic. It's just interesting. Now, one thing I like about this is, even though it's a Radiant, like, this card is gonna synergize very well in Wisp decks. So, no, a 1-cost 3/4 is insane. Like, that would actually be ridiculous. As a 4/3, it's a lot more balanced. I think we'll mostly be seeing this, though, for the Wisp mode in, like, a Wisp deck, but maybe I'm wrong. Killing relics is always valid. When you gain health, Arcanum Seeker gets +4. That's not really good enough for mandrakes. Unfortunate. When the cursed player draws an additional card, increase its cost by 2. Each player draws a card. Oh, I like this card. I remember seeing this. This will go in any, like, Dickro curse deck that's just spamming relics. Yeah, I like that a lot. Flying on the enemy turn, cards can't leave voids. Yeah, here's another good, like, hate card. Like, there's a lot. I mean, just right here, like, I can add these 8 cards to my deck. And if there's, like, a Reanimator deck in the meta and a Relic deck in the meta, I'm reasonably going to be, like, popping their stuff and not really having to worry about power either because I'm at +8. I'm really a big fan of Inscribed. It's basically a copy-pasted mechanic from Magic, but I think it needed to happen. Put a unit with cost 4 or less into its owner's hand. It's fine, I guess. That's a draft card, probably. Field Medic is vulnerable to damage this turn, and you gain health equal to its total number of units. This is neat. Saddled Cerasar is good as well. I like Field Medic, actually. This will definitely put the hurt on like some of the aggro decks. Forestall is interesting. I'm honestly not sure the Turbo Fog wants this because it only targets 1 unit. Maybe there's a stall deck though that wants this. It also randomly shuts down damage combos that like deal damage with the face or whatever, so that's cool. +1 max power when you play a hero, +1 max power. So it's like an overcosted power stone, but it can ramp up. That might be an expedition card. There's a lot of good heroes in Xenon. Okay, moving along. I like Talk. I think Talk is a little too expensive for what he does. I think Talk should probably be a 2-drop. Maybe they should take its cost down. But, it's nice to have more cockroaches that, like, actually do something. A lot of the ones we've seen have been pretty bad. I guess real quick, let's check and see how many cockroaches are in Expedition. Literally just Talk. Okay. Well, that's kind of boring. Inscribe. Silence an enemy unit. It's probably a draft card. 3 cost. I'd rather be killing an enemy unit. Oh, is it bugged? So I guess Expedition just doesn't exist right now. That's great. Fantastic. Put one of your units into your hand. It costs 0 and has ambush this turn. Well, it works pretty good with Kenna, right? I'm sure there's plenty of other good uses. Namura the Pure. At the end of your turn, gain 1 health for each card you drew. Meh. I'd expect that to be a 3-drop with that stat line. Okay. Scythe Desert Herder. 4 cost 3/2 Revenge. Okay. Play a Deadly Scorpion or give a unit killer. I like it. That's a lot of value. You get a guy, make a Scorpion, or you get a guy and killer something. But I think most likely you're making Scorpions. And then you trade off your Scythe and do it again. It's a lot of value for one card. I'm a fan. When Evelina hits the enemy player, create and draw a 5/5 dinosaur with Overwhelm. You got Charge, Inscribe, and Valor. This is okay. I could definitely see how this is gonna, like, could take over games. I just don't expect it to that often. Like, you're basically counting on your enemy just, like, A-spacing you. And this also doesn't help defend you at all. So it's just like, this is a card you put in your deck if you want to beat control. And even then, it's kind of dubious if you beat control with this card. So, yeah, I don't know. Put a card from your void on top of your deck. It's too expensive. Like, I like this effect, but, like, that's expensive. Now, like, if you're putting a card with Destiny on top of your deck, that gets a lot better, but still. Oh, Bathe in Light. I really like this card. This is basically Copper Hall Blessing, but in time. And gaining 6 life in the process is actually, like, relevant. And being able to cash this in for power is relevant as well. This might actually let us explore with playing a Turbo Fog deck that doesn't use Justice. I don't know if that would be any good, but it's an option. Put an enemy unit with cost 2 or less onto the bottom of its owner deck. This is fine. I mean, it's no Grodov Stranger, but that's a draft card. Silence all enemy units. Your units get Charge, Deadly, Endurance, and Overwhelm this turn. Holy crap. So, this is like the board stall breaker right here, right? Like, you play this, and you've got a board, and you just win the game. Like, without a doubt. Your units with battle skills have +1/+1. Your units without battle skills have +2/+2. Play a 1/1 Explorer, a 1/3 Trail Runner with Charge. Nah, not into it. Grift of Prophecy. So this is like a 5-faction deck card. I don't know about that one. Maybe there's some combo I'm not thinking of. Maybe you play this with the Gift of the Heroes deck, or the Gathering deck. I guess I'll show that card. Like, maybe this goes in a Glorious Gathering deck. You know, you grab 4 heroes out of your void. And, I see you mentioning Nikto, but I don't think it actually works with Nikto. Because it's draw a single faction. Marison's Legacy, I saw this. This is probably a draft card. Warrior Monk. Contract 5, you gain 5 health. That's a draft card. Can't be killed if they're your only unit. When you inscribe Bodhi and Rocks, put a copy of them into the top 7 cards of your deck with +2/+2. You know what? I like this card. And the reason why I like it is this card kind of pseudo helps you with Power Screw. If you're inscribing this guy, you can just keep inscribing him and, like, keep hitting land drops. So if you're playing a deck that, like, really, really cares about land drops. That's huge. I mean, maybe not that huge, but huge enough. So the tomes, first 3 turns, depleted power, and then after that undepleted. I like it. Give a unit +3 and invulnerable to damage this turn, invoke. This is excellent. I love that this card replaces itself and like is a protection spell and a combat trick. I think that might make it worth being 3 cost. Oh, it's a slow spell? Never mind. No, it's not a combat trick. Good call. I take it back. I just assumed it would be a fast spell. Okay, when Zindane attacks, create and draw Power Burst. Contract 2, draw a card. So he replaces himself. He's kind of undercosted. I would expect a 2-drop to have these stats. And the question here is making Power Burst and drawing cards worth it? I think it is. I think this is a realistic card. It kind of ramps you in a way. And if you have a ton of ramp and you like need gas, it lets you draw cards. So this card's reasonable. You have to be like winning on board for it to ramp you though. But like if you go like logistics expert into like turn 2 Zindane, then that's a thing. Solix got spoiled a while ago, but silence their void and give her killer seems fine. You won't be able to killer her the same turn. So like I guess the line of play with this is you play Solix, attack, bonk your opponent, Solix is killer, and then next turn maybe you pay 8 and give it +4 and then kill her something. That's kind of neat. Silencing the void can be a thing. Yeah, but once she gets killer, so like she'd get killer and then you'd be using the turn using the killer and then you'd have to attack again, so you get a killer every other turn. Ramba single swing. When Ramba kills a unit with 2 attack or less, draw a card. So I guess the most obvious place to put this is Sling. Having endurance is very real. Giant is not a good creature type, but whatever. I don't know how good this is. Comparatively to other like big 6-drops that draw cards, it's nice that it's one-sided. It's not like the dinosaur that's an 8/8, where like both, like you're drawing your opponent cards. Having endurance means it's gonna dodge like stuns and permafrost. But unless you're playing a Sling deck, it's still not gonna do anything when it comes down. More tomes. I guess I'll sort this just so I can fit more cards on the page. Alessi's Choice, kill an enemy unit with 4 attack or more. Oh wait, I see what I've done. I played us all, chat. I was clicked on time, so it was just going through all the time cards. So we'll have to remember later that I was dumb. Okay, set the cursed unit's attack to 0. The cursed unit gets attack equal to the attack lost. Give a unit +1 on lifesteal. That's fine. Let's see. Yeah, this card was spoiled today. Silence an enemy unit or relic with cost 3 or less. Like, here's just another random relic hate. And it's on a 2-drop 3/2, right? Like, that's nothing to turn your nose up at. His art's kind of ridiculous. Combrai Law Mage. The enemy player can't play more than 1 unit per turn, 1 spell per turn, and 1 attachment per turn. 1 cost, +3. Yeah, I see that. I still feel like this is probably more of a draft card than anything else. Like, if we compare this to Trick Shot Ruffian, like, Ruffian's still gonna win games faster. And they're both 1 green. I guess if you want, like, residual damage and, like, staying power, gold-plated revolver is better. But for just one-shotting people, Trick Shot's still probably... No, I get it. It's good. It's like a permanent Giant's Growth, basically. Okay, kill a unit with an even cost. Meh? Like, I guess this is Justice's way of killing Sandstorm Titan, but, like, Vanquish does that just as well. Draft. Give another unit +3/+4, flying and endurance this turn. Now, here's a freaking combat trick and a half, and look at this body. Like, this owl works out. Anyway. This card's a hoot. Okay, my bad. When you play a unit, it gets Aegis. If it already had Aegis, it gets +1/+1. Pay 9, and the enemy player can never play spells again. Give a unit Aegis, and its attack and health becomes the higher of the 2. Okay. Basically a 5-drop silencer. When you play a weapon on prize fighter, lifesteal. Kill each unit with 5 attack or more, inscribed. Wow. That's a thing. This is like really exactly the kind of effect you want with some scribe. Like, this is gonna blow people out. Like, even in Throne. Like, even Argenport might want this card. Final balance. If there are an even number of units, they each get double damage. If there's an odd number of units, kill them all. Whoa. So this is like a very main deckable card. I wonder how this works with, like, let's say we're playing and I cast a spell and someone uses a fast removal spell and kills one of my guys. Will it switch the mode? I guess it would. Hojan, beloved son, at the end of your turn, double the attack and health of one of your units with less attack than Hojan. Yeah, this is excellent. Like, even with, like, this owl, like, all of a sudden you have a 6/8 owl at the end of your turn with endurance. That's ridiculous. This is this is probably one of the better inscribed cards I've seen. Draw cards until you have as many cards in the hand as the enemy player. That's kind of a meme. Flying, Inscribe, Lifesteal, Valor. Those are a lot of abilities and not a lot of stats for a 6-drop. I don't know how I feel about that. I think this is an Expedition card, but I don't think it's a Throne card, obviously. Your other units have +1/+1. When Setya attacks, play another random Justice unit from your deck. Yeah, I don't know. 7-drops that don't do anything when they enter the field are kind of sus. Okay, this card's good. This might as well be a tap land that says gain 2 life. This is like Roland's favor, actually, almost in a way. I guess minus like the thinning, but Eternal players don't believe in deck thinning, so I guess there's that.